Welcome to video number 2. Thanks for watching. Already you are outdoing many of your peers and competitors who don't know anything about marketing themselves online. This video, which I'm very excited to present for you, is all about search engines, which is really important stuff to know. So let's start off having a look at how search engines work. Now, in case you don't know, a search engine is a website where you can search and look for all the other websites on the internet. This includes search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing being the most popular ones. Now, making sure you're at the top of Google and search engines when people search for you as an actor is very important. It's so important because over 80% of websites are found through search engines just like Google. Here is an image of people's eyes when they use Google. As you can see, the red part up the top left is where people tend to focus more on, and then click, which is indicated here by little X marks. So, this means it's very important to not only be on Google, but to be at the top so that people go to your main website straight away. In order to be up the top for a particular keyword, involves a few different things. Firstly, you want to look the most popular in the eyes of Google. Or in other words, have lots of links from other websites pointing to yours. Which means, if there are hundreds of websites all pointing towards yours, then in Google's eyes you look really popular. Now, within this rule there are a couple of things to note, such as the more popular the other websites are, the better off it is for you. It's almost like getting a recommendation from Will Smith himself, as opposed to someone no one has heard of. Another way Google now likes to see if you're popular is to have lots of Facebook fans or likes, Twitter followers, Google Plus ones, and other social media items like these. I'll go into much more details about social media in the next video. So it all works like this. You and your website are the center of everything, as I've explained earlier. Then, other websites, as well as review websites, might point towards you. Profile pages, such as Facebook fan pages and IMDb profiles, also point towards you. There's different directory listings, of which are literally thousands of free directories you can add your website to, as well as many Web 2.0 sites, which are sites you can create yourself through websites like WordPress and Blogger.com. They all point towards you as well. Plus, social bookmarking sites, which are simply big popular sites like Facebook, Twitter, as well as ones you may not have heard of like Delicious and Tumblr. So they all point with links to your site, making it look really popular. The second way to be on top of Google involves having the right keywords within your website itself, which is vital. Generally, as an actor, the main keywords is your own name, but it could also include things like actor, voiceover, film actor, and things like that. You want to make sure your website and your main keywords are included in things like headings, where you can make sure your name is in the site headings and also the page title itself. The keywords should then be able to be used a lot in the text and also in the domain name. So if you're wanting people to find you online, the easiest way is to have your full name as the domain name itself. Thirdly, Google has recently made a much bigger effort to have sites at the top which are more recent. They can actually tell how long ago you last edited your website, and can sometimes even show that on the search results itself. So, to make sure your site shows up as being up to date, all you need to do is make sure you add and change things on your website every now and again. Now, a blog is a great way to do this, and I'll talk more about blogs in greater detail in the next video as well. But basically, it's a way for you to tell the world your latest news, what auditions you're going to be doing, what new roles you get, and things like that. The next part we're going to look at is profiles and directories. The profiles I'm going to talk about are all free to have, but many do have an extra option to upgrade your profile, which is up to you as to whether you decide or not to do that. Personally, I haven't heard of too many more advantages from this, but that's just some of the people I've worked with. So, profiles include sites like StarNow.com and IMDb.com, among many out there, of which I suggest you try and join as many as you can. These profile sites normally allow you to show off your headshots, bio, and sometimes even your show reels. They are great for Google as they will generally show up near the top and make you look like you're from everywhere. You can normally also include a link from the profile page to the main website if you have one. Another big advantage of these profile sites is that you can be found straight away from the site itself, as many casting directors and agents already use these sites to search for acting talent all around the world. You can even find and apply for auditions for jobs on some of them as well. The most popular profile sites out there include starnow.com, imdb.com, ukscreen.co.uk, and castingfiles.com. The next thing we're going to have a look at is reviews. So these can either be reviews written by others, which generally happens later on once you sort of start making a mark for yourself, or initially can be written in a third person by yourself, or you can get your friends to write one for you. Just make sure you don't go too over the top trying to talk yourself up, and mainly just focus on what you have done so far and what you aim to do. Sort of like a newspaper review. With these reviews, you can either put them on your own website, or better yet, put them on other article websites, which will help increase links to you, and help increase your position on Google overall. Articles are known as being one of the best ways to increase your spot on Google, plus anyone reading the article will learn more about you, and then head across to your website or profile page. When doing this, article sites and Google don't like to have duplicated content that is exactly the same as somewhere else online. To bypass this while still using the same article or review, all you need to do is change around some of the words and the wording to make it sound a little different. To help do this, register for a free account at articlequeen.com, and then you'll be able to easily spin your article into many hundreds of different versions. So, if you don't want to write or spin an article yourself, you can also hire someone to do it for you. There's many sites out there, such as Fiverr.com, which have many people wanting to do things for just $5, including write an article for you. You can check them out and see what you think. Some of the most popular and best article sites to submit to include eZineArticles.com, GoArticles.com, and many more. Just do a Google search for free article submissions, and you will find hundreds of them. As well as submitting articles to other sites, you can also create your own simple site with a review on it. These sort of sites I call Web 2.0 site reviews. These are basically simple websites you can create yourself for free in no time at all, which rank really well on search engines. They generally lack in design, but the main purpose of these types of sites is just to contain the content and help improve your search engine ranking and get on top of Google. You can even, for a little bit extra, have something like www.yournamereviewed.com as the domain name to make sure it shows up when people Google you. Now, a domain name normally costs between sort of $10 to $12 per year, which isn't really too much. As I just mentioned, you don't need anything fancy for these types of sites. No real need for a custom design, it's just a review and not your homepage. So that means you can create your simple review site on pretty much any of the free site builders out there. The two main ones that I've used and highly recommend are WordPress.com and Blogger.com. The next thing we're going to have a quick look at is offline marketing. So, this is just making sure your online effort to have a professional presence will always be aided in your offline marketing. For example, business cards. Now, these are okay, but some people get bombarded with hundreds of them. They discard any that don't look good straight away, and even if they have your website address, majority of people will still Google you first without actually typing in the address, which is another reason to make sure your website and your profiles all appear at the top of Google. This is the same for all and any offline marketing you may do. People will search for you online before they try anything else. The next part we'll have a quick look at is auditions and applications. After an audition or during the application, you can refer people to your site to show them just how good you really are. Once you submit an application or attend an audition, the first thing they're going to do is Google you. Imagine when they do this, there are amazing things to see. Consistent branding everywhere, existing fans, and they know that you are really a pro actor. Suddenly they would be like, wow, yes, we'll take them. The next video is all about using and creating your social networks to leverage the power of referrals. I will then explain how to tie all of this together in the fourth video, which is how to create your website. Plus, I'm going to show you how to get a really professional one with a customized design all done for you for basically next to nothing. Stay tuned for that. It could really be the difference in making or breaking your career. Please comment below and let me know your thoughts, any questions you have about using search engines, and introduce yourself to us all. And feel free to hit that share button and share this video with all your friends. I'm looking forward to seeing you and having you watch and listen on the next video.